From the heart of Yerevan to all corners of the world, this is CivilNet's Daily News Digest for Thursday, October 31st. I'm Paul Chadurjan.
And I'm Maria Titizian. In today's digest,
the dangers of deforestation. Environmentalists try to make a plea about Teghut. One lands in jail.
Plus, Azeri war-mongering and provocation. One of the concerns conveyed to a visiting EU official.
Also ahead, a crippling disease threatens children caught in a civil war. What can be done?
And racing through the brutally difficult slopes of the Austrian Alps, a young Armenian aspires to bring home Olympic gold.
Environmentalists raised their voices once again in Yerevan yesterday.
They are calling attention to the continuing deforestation of Teghut because of a proposed copper and molybdenum mine. The protesters wanted to read the text of their letter addressed to the government, but police didn't allow them to use loudspeakers, which police say would disrupt government members. CivilNet's Levon Jean Poladian reported that there were scuffles outside the government building. As a result, one protester, Kevork Safarian, was arrested. As many of you already know, the proposed open-pit mine in the village of Teghut has been and continues to be a serious environmental concern. For years, environmentalists and concerned citizens have been lobbying against it.
Philip Lefort, European Union Special Representative for the South Caucasus and crisis in Georgia, was in Armenia yesterday. He met with Foreign Minister Edward Nalbandian. The two discussed Armenian-EU relations and regional developments. The EU official was in Baku before coming to Yerevan, and he spoke to the foreign minister about his meetings there. According to the MFA press service, Nalbandian advised Lefort about the dangers of continued Azerbaijani belligerence and provocative actions. Lefort reaffirmed the EU's support to the continuing efforts of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs' efforts to achieve a peaceful resolution to the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict.
The Minister of National Defense of Greece, Dimitris Avramopoulos, was in Armenia this week and met with a number of high-ranking officials, including President Serge Sarkisyan. During their meeting, they discussed deepening Greek-Armenian relations in a variety of spheres, including military cooperation. Avramopoulos underscored the importance of a shared history with the Armenian people.
In the last several weeks, we've reported about a number of prisoners who were released under President Serge Sarkisyan's amnesty on the occasion of the 22nd anniversary of Armenia's independence. They included ANC activist Tikran Arakelian, Cambridge University scholar Aram Mughalian, and two brothers accused of firebombing a gay-friendly pub in Yerevan. According to the Ministry of Justice, to date, a total of 586 people have been released from correctional facilities.
In an unprecedented move, nearly 36 artists and intellectuals from the diaspora have issued a statement calling for equality in Armenia. The statement reads, quote, "In response to reports of draft anti-propaganda legislation in Armenia, modeled on Russia's recently passed and widely condemned bill, we, the undersigned members of the global Armenian community, say such attempts to codify anti-gay prejudice into law are contrary to our values. We believe in dignity, equality, and the right to self-expression for all people regardless of religion, sexual orientation, gender, or race." End of quote. The Armenian Police Department had proposed an amendment similar to a law passed in Russia which sought to fine individuals, legal entities, and officials up to $4,000 for any public promotion of non-traditional sexual relationships. Police had claimed the bill was necessary to protect the model of the traditional Armenian family. They withdrew the proposed draft in August of this year. Civilitas Foundation Director Salpi Ghazarian and others as well have said that given the silence of diasporan institutions when it comes to Armenia's development, engagement in social issues, not just this one, is welcome. On Tuesday, the United Nations confirmed an outbreak of polio among children in Syria. Plans are currently underway for vaccination campaigns there and in nearby countries to halt the spread of the disease. Oliver Rosenbauer, spokesperson for the World Health Organization, said that they have 10 confirmed polio cases. Most of them are children under the age of 2. He said, quote, "With population movements, it can travel to other areas, so the risk is high of spread across the region." End of quote. The UN says that 500,000 Syrian children have not been immunized against polio because of the war. Yesterday, Armenia's Ministry of Health issued a statement saying that taking into consideration the World Health Organization's call for urgent immunization against polio and the number of Syrian Armenians fleeing to Armenia, and to prevent the outbreak of polio in our country, they are requesting that all Syrian Armenian children up to the age of 15 who have migrated to Armenia be immediately immunized. Consultation and immunization will be free of charge.
The Suv Krikor Lusavovic Medical Center in Yerevan received the new generation digital X-ray analysis machine donated by Samsung Electronics. The X-ray machine was donated within the framework of Samsung's corporate social responsibility program. Armenia is the first post-Soviet country to benefit from this program. Armenia's first fully digital X-ray machine will significantly reduce durations of X-ray exams.
A school in Yerevan has been named after Hrant Dink, the Turkish-Armenian journalist and editor who was assassinated in Istanbul in January 2007. Dink's widow, Raquel Dink, and other members of his family were in Yerevan to take part in the renaming ceremony at school number 44 in the Kanaker Zeytun district of Yerevan. Also participating was Yerevan Mayor Daron Markaryan.
In sports, Ruben Hayrapetyan, the president of the Armenian Football Association, held a press conference yesterday to talk about the future of the football team. Many thought that he would announce the name of a new coach for the country's national team after coach Vartan Minasyan announced he would be stepping down. Instead, Hayrapetyan told reporters that he was deeply disappointed that Minasyan resigned from his position as coach and that he had tried to persuade him to stay but has not been successful. Hayrapetyan conjectured that perhaps an Italian or Spanish coach would be hired, but that he was open to all possibilities.
The Armenian under-17 national football team defeated Gibraltar by a score of 2-1 in the Group 7 tournament of the UEFA European Under-17 Championship qualifying round 2 nights ago. The match was held in Yerevan. After 3 rounds, England leads Group 7 with 9 points, Ireland has 6 points, Armenia has 3, and Gibraltar has not gotten any points so far.
And yesterday here at CivilNet, we hosted a delegation from the Armenia International Animation Film Festival. The guests included animators, judges, and special guests from Armenia and abroad. We introduced them to the work and activities of our media organization.
And here's a quick look at today's exchange rate.
The Central Bank of Armenia says the dollar is worth 406 dirhams and 56 luma. 655 dirhams and 59 luma is what you get for the British pound.
The euro buys you 560 dirham and 65 luma, and the ruble buys you 12 dirham and 82 luma. And the forecast calls for a high of 21 degrees in Yerevan and 17 degrees in Gyumri. Overnight in Yerevan, it'll be -1, and Gyumri will see a low of -3. In
Stepanakert, the high will be 18 with an overnight low of 7. And in the historic Armenian city of Bingöl, Turkey, the high will be 13 degrees and the overnight low will be -7. And notice the music in the background?
Lovely.
Beautiful selection. A San Francisco Bay Area alpine skier is training in Austria this week as he prepares to make a bid to represent Armenia in the Winter Olympics in February.
We spoke to Arman Serebekyan on CivilNet's Global Armenians. He's already part of the Armenia ski team, but he needs to win a number of races to qualify for participating at the Sochi Olympics in February. We asked him how he got into the sport.
I would have to say skiing is one of our family's passions, all of ours. I have a younger sister, and both my parents, we all love skiing. My father was an avid skier growing up in Tehran, and he taught both my sister and I the sport of skiing before the age of 2 up in Lake Tahoe, and we loved it.
Arman is also trying to fundraise $90,000 so that he competes in qualifying races, and he's already raised, Paul, $31,000 so far. To hear more about his journey to Sochi, tune into CivilNet over the weekend to watch our interview.
Good luck to him.
The U.S. Embassy kicked off its American Film Showcase program at the Moscow Theater on Monday night with a film about low-income students who are chess champions in Brooklyn, New York.
My mom and dad came to the U.S. because they want to have a better life for me. Most of my family are like housemaids, gardeners, painters.
I'm playing in girls' nationals because I want to win the scholarship. It's going to help my mom a lot because she can't afford to pay for college.
He came to the United States because of the American dream. Look at all these medals.
I'm very proud of you.
Brooklyn Castle is just one of 24 documentaries that will be screened through mid-November as part of the U.S. State Department's documentary series about American life.
That your circumstances, your income, your neighborhood, who your parents are, shouldn't define your future. That you can make your own future, and that's what the film of this movie is. That your circumstances will not limit your future. You can determine your own future. Is the theme of this movie.
Each year, the series focuses on specific themes like women's rights and civic responsibility. This year, the theme of the festival is putting an accent on the potential of youth. In addition to the 24 films, 3 filmmakers are here in Yerevan to interact with audiences and run workshops for filmmakers and those aspiring to learn about film. The TUMO Center for Creative Technologies is collaborating with the U.S. Embassy and will screen many of the documentaries on its campus.
We have started to work on this project because it is in our mission and vision to work with the students on professional projects and to give them a place and an environment where they can work.
To find out about the festival's screening schedule, check the calendar section of tumo.org.
That is our digest for Thursday, October 31st. Happy Halloween.
And as always, we'd love to hear from you. Our email address is english@civilnet.am.
Manat Parov.